Thank you for downloading the TheFlixters podcast. On this week's episode, I mean, people been getting jungle fever from day one. People still got
You know what? There needs to be more jungle fever, man.
They tried to, like the vaccine, they tried to send it out. The vaccine didn't work. You know, jungle fever still hitting people.
Don't get me wrong, there is deep love between these two characters, but they're also flawed characters and they go through everything, man. I mean, they are swearing at each other. They are...
Yeah, it's like you say, it's very atmospheric. It's a hidden gem of a difference.
Exactly like you, Deval, I kind of had this unsettling feeling. It is a slow burning movie, but there are enough things in there to... Hello, and thank you for joining us for another episode of TheFlixters. Yeah, we think we've got a great episode for you this week's show. We're going to be reviewing two movies. So we're going to be looking at Malcolm and Marie, and we're looking at a horror movie, which is kind of interesting. For Valentine's, Deval and I are actually spending the 14th of February together talking about movies for you guys. So hope you had a great Valentine's. Hope you kind of went out and, you know, did the whole flower stuff and, you know, going out. Actually, no, in England, you can't even go out. You still can't go out, can you?
We're trapped. We're all homebound. So it's all home loving.
Home loving. All right. Okay. So we've got a couple of movie reviews. We've got obviously the movie news and we've got some great anniversary corners movies. So stick around, sit back and enjoy the show. All right. So Devaldo, let's do some shout outs first.
Yeah, we've got a few shout outs this week. Some good shout outs, actually. Some good interactions on social media. First one goes out to Charlie Jai UK, who's got her own channel. She's restarted her Amplified every Thursday, 7 p.m. on Instagram. Really, really good show, which I'm actually going to go on in a couple of weeks. So
Brilliant.
You can catch me on there as one half of the TheFlixters.
Nice.
Talking about all sorts, really. So catch the show. Next shout out goes out to Kate. Actually, Kate, someone I actually work with, and she mentioned to me last week she listened to the show, and I was like, "What? You listened to the show?" I was thinking, "Shit, did I swear that week?" Or you know, because at work I got come across all. But I fucking hope I didn't swear that week. That would be shit, really shit bad of me, you know. But it's all right, Kate.
Shit. Yeah, it's all right, Kate. Don't worry.
Next one goes out to Black Collar Music.
Nice.
A really good page on Instagram. They shouted us out about a post actually about the Black Judas. Really good film actually. That's just been released now.
Yeah.
Judas and the Black Messiah. So I said Black Judas. Sorry, I meant Judas and the Black Messiah, starring Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield, among others. And Black Collar Music Group just said, "Yep, you can kill a revolutionary, but you can never kill the revolution."
The revolution. Oh,
This film,
well
it looks like this film's going to be a really good film.
Deep.
I'm going to watch it in the next day or so.
Yep.
Just got released, so yeah, can't wait for that. Another person who can't wait is G_X. She's like, "Yep, cannot wait for that film." Every Day with Erica Joy. She also wants to see that film. A good friend Erica, Bath79. He said, "Yep, it's a good film." Zakroff, our good friend Zakroff, he wants to see it. Everybody wants to see it.
Everyone wants to see it. And I'm kind of like purposefully, like I'm staying away from the reviews, but the incy-wincy little bits of things that I've seen, they've all said like powerful. They're like, you know, it kind of like goes into, it's kind of like they're doing something a bit different with this, like a different side to the Black Panthers and everything. So I can't wait to watch it.
And it's so funny because Daniel Kaluuya has already been in Black Panther, and now he's in another film with Black Panthers involved, just another, you know, the type of Black Panther. And he's going to come back in the sequel and do Black Panther again. So that'd be 3 times over he's done Black Panther.
Doing Black Panther.
Recently,
brilliant.
He was on the Breakfast Show in America. That's like a YouTube, I see it on YouTube. It's like a radio show. They talk about a lot of like, you know, social issues and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were actually asking him about how he feels about UK actors going over to America and, you know, in their words, taking our roles.
You know what? This has come up a few times. And what did he have?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Well, I only heard a snippet of it, and he was really talking about, you know, coming together and like let's look at this holistically and sort of not look at it as you're taking our roles and stuff. We're all on the same boat. Like, we're all the same people. Let's work
Sure.
together with this. So yeah, I mean, there's lots of roles to go round. If as an actor, if I was an actor in the UK and an American, director said, "I want you to play a role," I'm not going to say no. Find someone in America. I'm coming
Yeah,
to do that job. I didn't
exactly.
come over there and steal it. I mean, Americans are more than they're more than welcome to come over to the UK
Of
and
course.
come in EastEnders and Coronation Street. But I'm not sure they can do the accent. I don't know the English accent. I don't know, maybe because it's not heard that much. We hear American accents a lot, so maybe we're able
Yeah.
to, do it more easily. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, those are the shout outs.
Brilliant, brilliant shout outs, guys. Keep on coming. Get in touch with us. We're always interacting with anyone who's willing to listen and kind of, talk to us about this sort of stuff. So yeah, we love it when you chat to us on Instagram, on Twitter and Facebook and things like that. So keep that coming in. All right, okay, movie news. Now, Wizard of Oz. Devaldo, do you remember the Sam Raimi, the kind of, what was it? It was, I think it was around about 2004, I want to say 2004, 2005. They did kind of like an Oz movie, which was kind of like this updated version of the whole thing. And I'm not sure if that did really well. I remember watching it in the cinema. It was quite long and, had some really interesting bits in there. But what's going on? Are we going to get to see another Wizard of Oz movie?
Yep, the Wizard of Oz is being remade by the director of the TV show, one of the directors of the TV show Watchmen, Nicole Castell. So yeah, she also directed The Woodsman and The Killing, which is on Netflix, and A Little Bit of Heaven, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to experience on Valentine's Day.
Oh. Listen, if we've disturbed you, sorry, but get back to it afterwards, all right?
No. We are the little bit of heaven. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. Yeah, Zakharov.
Yeah.
So we know where you're a bit of heaven. So just keep it honest. All right, now this next piece of news. Now, we've kind of spoken on the show about games, and we're kind of we're gamers. We love playing like great games, and Deval's been like trying for months and months and months to get the PS5, which I think he's finally got, and he can tell us about all that on another episode. But listen, Last of Us is this great game on the PS4. I had it, I played it. It was brilliant. The storytelling, the visuals, the whole thing, the voice acting was brilliant. And the thing now is that they're going to be turning this into a TV show. So we're actually going to see a live action version of this. So Deval, tell us about this, because this is great.
Yeah, no, this is really, really good actually. The Last of Us it's an award-winning video game. Yeah, this game, I mean, I actually haven't played it. These sorts of games, the games that are very cinematic and take a lot of time, those sorts of games, I actually prefer to sit down and watch someone else play them. I don't know what it is, but I don't, I haven't got the patience to play them myself. But this game looks like a movie in itself. And it came out first in 2013, developed by Sony and Nasty Dog. And it's about a post-apocalyptic world, really, about a mad series of events and people trying to survive. They're like literally the last of a small group of people, really. But the film, so maybe you can think of it as a bit like Walking Dead kind of vibes and that kind of thing, and I Am Legend, that kind of thing. But yeah, so the casting is happening. So far, 2 ex Game of Thrones cast members have been cast in this. Bella Ramsey, who played the really young, and it was her first role, but she was the really young Lyanna Mormont of Bear Island.
Yeah,
the one that was really feisty and just
Feisty,
like powerful and well respected within her people. And she led, as a young girl, she led all her warriors. So she's going to be cast in this as Ellen. And then another gangster actor from Game of Thrones and Mandalorian, among others, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
He's been cast as Joel or Joel.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's so far what we've heard so far. I'm pretty sure they're going to add some more great names to this. But so far, them two alone, you can imagine he's like the dad character.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like the daughter character, and it's going to be good.
Yeah. So she has kind of like, so there's this kind of virus that's taken over the whole world. She's got the for some reason she's immune, and then she has to get across the whole game. You got to try and get across kind of like one part of wherever it was. I can't remember exactly what it was, to the other part, and then he kind of helps her out and stuff. It's brilliant. It's really good, immersive. listen, if they make it anything like the game, it's going to be really good. This is coming on HBO, by the way. Now, my question is, what's happening with what will happen to Mandalorian?
Well, that's the thing. Mandalorian season 3 is going to premiere, from what I understand, January 2022. So I would think that's filming first. I should think, and then this will film afterwards. But again, we're not sure how many episodes this is going to be, and how many episodes Mandalorian season 3 is going to be. And season 3 is going to involve a lot more of the wide world of the Mandalore kind of, the war on Mandalore, really. So maybe he might not be as involved. I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing right now, but either way, this guy, he actually works 8 days a week. So he's a hard worker. So you can, do the maths. He works 8 days a week. So somehow he's created another day. So that's why he can do so much.
Man, it's going to be mad. It's going to be mad. All right, now, we just mentioned Mandalorian, and this kind of leads into the next piece of news that we have to kind of get off our chest. This has been trending on Twitter. It's on kind of like, all the social media networks and everything. And obviously, we've got to speak about it because, you know what, we want to let you know about it, which I'm pretty sure you already know. But Gina Carano, who played this kick-ass character on The Mandalorian, she was in season 1, obviously, and she appeared in season 2. And a really strong woman. She didn't take any shit from anyone. And the funny thing is, Deval, remember we spoke about Haywire just on last week's episode, and that stars Gina Carano. And the thing is, right, I didn't know about this whole backstory about her. She's a staunch Republican. She's a Trump supporter. And I mean, if I'd have known any of all that sort of stuff, I would have just obviously put that aside. It doesn't mean anything to me because what we see on screen shouldn't in parentheses, shouldn't have kind of like an effect on,
people have their views,
what people do.
So.
Exactly, people have their views. But this shit, so she kind of tweeted a couple of things on social media, on Twitter. They've now been deleted, but I think if you can search for it, you can get it. She kind of likened she likened the way that Republicans are being targeted. She kind of used a kind of like an allegory about, using Jewish people and the way that they were treated by Nazis and the whole way that the Republicans have been treated in America. She kind of said that, and straight away Disney came out and they basically said, look, we totally disagree with these comments. Gina Carano will no longer be working with Disney, and boof, that was it. She was axed. She was fired, sliced off, with a lightsaber, and that is it, man. Done and dusted. So now the question is, could they do a U-turn with like what they do with James Gunn? Because remember that whole thing happened with James Gunn. He had some kind of comments which were like made 10, 15 years ago. They did a U-turn there. But I mean, this is mad. She was a good character, and I think people liked her on the show.
Man, do not cuss Jewish people and I mean any people, to be honest. But no, seriously, if you do, like I've noticed, like that's one thing that, especially like when you're in entertainment and I don't know, politicians, or when you're a high profile person and you do that, you just it's not good. It's not good. Don't cuss anyone, but just stay away. Honestly,
exactly.
You will be in trouble.
I know exactly what you mean.
These days, in the way in the climate we live in now, I mean, free speech. It's there should be a little asterisk on that because yes, I don't agree with many things people say, and if I had hard views like that, I wouldn't put it on social media. I mean, I wouldn't. But people think because free speech and that you can and all that, and comes at a cost. It's not totally free. I said, look, you got to pay a little bit.
Well, exactly. And then what Disney had to say was, they said Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be in the future. And then they went on to say, nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. And then apparently she came out and there was a comment that she made. She said, she turned around and she said, they can't cancel us if we don't let them. And that's all she said.
The war. She's now joined the dark side.
That is it, man. She's going to be a Sith. It's just crazy, isn't it? Like, you get given, like, it's a brilliant role. Like, who knows, this Mandalorian role, she could have then appeared in other kind of Disney movies. But I guess her political views were so much to her that she was like, screw this. I bet she must have known this is she was going to get, there was going to be backlash. Come on.
Like I say, some people, if you've got strong views and you believe in what you say, you're willing to take a hit, honestly. I mean, good or bad, that's just the case.
Yeah, she could take a hit, and there's already talk about her. She's already got a movie deal out of this. So if you go online, you can read up all about that. So yeah, interesting stuff. So we'll keep you posted if any further developments happen. But let's move on to Marvel now. Devaldo, we have speaking about Kraven the Hunter, this kind of, what you would say, you'd call him, he's he's a Spider-Man villain or anti-hero. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a warm heart, wrapped up all in that muscle and, lion skin on his back and the club that he holds. But he's kind of like he's a villain in most cases, but he has sometimes, done good and stuff like that. But yeah, Marvel are considering a few people on that list. There's Keanu Reeves, who he obviously he can do no wrong, but Kraven the Hunter, I mean, it could work. It could work. We were saying from time ago, Joe Manganiello could have been, could be Kraven the Hunter. Someone else has been saying, what's his name from The Boys? Carl Urban.
Carl Urban,
would make
he'd be
a
great.
wicked. Yeah, he would. He literally would be a good Kraven the Hunter. But yeah, Kraven the Hunter. There's rumors that he may pop up in, even Black Panther 2, even though he is like, more maybe widely known for Spider-Man, but in a hunter in the sort of African terrain and all that, and maybe he wants some vibranium or I mean, anything could happen. But yeah, I think cast him right, people. Make him a a really big character, strong, but also good actor. It's hard to get all those all wrapped up into one. Sometimes one of those things has to give. So let's see what happens with that one.
Let's see what happens. Okay, next piece of news is interesting. Now, we haven't really spoken about Captain Marvel a lot on the show. For me, it's not up there as one of the greatest, MCU movies, but it's interesting. It kind of fills in the gaps, obviously, with the characters, and as an origin story, it's great, and entertaining, piece of movie. Disney are working on a Captain Marvel Part 2. We know that the character Kamala Khan is gonna appear in that somehow. We know Monica Rambeau is going to be in there, which we're currently viewing on WandaVision, which we'll speak about in a bit. But the news is that British actress, now, do you know how to pronounce? Is it Zoo or Zew?
Zoe.
Zoe. How do you pronounce it?
Zoe, I think.
Zoe.
I think so.
Lovely. Zoe Ashton. She's going to be cast. Apparently, she's been cast as one of the villains or the villain in Captain Marvel 2. But do we know anything about, what type of villain, who this villain is, Deval?
You know what? I don't know, Don't know. I mean, you know what? I don't know. I can say it again and again. The more I say it, I'm not going to know anymore. I'm thinking in my head usually what happens in Marvel films is the villain is kind of like a bit of a reflection on the hero. So someone somewhere said it might be Rogue, but like a bad version of Rogue.
Right.
Or something, because Rogue does.
Because they had beef, didn't they? That's how she gets her powers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then there's other people as well that, I don't know, it could be anyone, I just don't know where they're going to go with this. This is something that's going to be filming quite soon, I think in the next maybe 3-4 months or so. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but she's a good actress. She's been around for a while. She's been in all sorts of things, from like EastEnders, which is a TV show.
Yeah, Fresh Meat. I know her from Fresh Meat, which is great comedy, drama. It was on Channel 4, I want to say. I think it was that ran for about 3 seasons. So she's really great at that. Yeah, man, she's great. Great actor. She is. She'll do it. Whatever it is, I'm pretty sure she'll do it.
Yeah, it could be Rogue. That's what people are saying, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with that.
Yeah, let's see what happens with this one. Now, okay, this came as a bit of a surprise. Now, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Now, if you ask me, do you know the work of Phoebe Waller-Bridge? I'll be like, no. I know that she's doing, or she has done some, or she's written, she was in some TV show which did really well at the Golden Globes last year or a couple of years ago, whatever.
Fleabag.
Really popular show. Yeah, Fleabag, yeah. What is that about?
I never saw it. I never ever saw it, but I know people loved it. It done well, but you can't watch them all, can you?
Exactly. seriously. So if it's great, if people out there who've seen it, please do get in touch with us. Let us know what it's about, and hopefully we can fit it in. But check this out: Donald Glover and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, what a team up! They've announced that they're teaming up for a TV adaptation of 2005's Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
This is crazy.
That's
This is absolutely crazy.
they're a bit of a. I don't know. They're. I wouldn't put them two together, but I mean, yeah. I don't know.
You know what? I didn't even know. Apparently, so in Solo, a Star Wars story, she was in that as well.
Oh, was she? Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
You know what? If you asked me who she played in that, I could not tell you because the movie was a bit naff for me. But obviously, Donald Glover, he played Lando Calrissian in there. But yeah, man. So it's a teaming up of this. I think Amazon Studios, they've bought the rights to it. They're going to be bringing this kind of duo together. But when you look at those two people, you just think, oh wow, this is kind of like an odd couple. But odd couples, could make for great viewing.
True that. She played the robot, actually. I just found out she played the robot
right.
L337. But you know what? Some people are saying that the people that should be Mr. and Mrs. Smith should be Mr. and Mrs. Smith in real life. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith.
That would be really good. Why not?
That could happen.
Exactly. So, so any more news on this one, we'll obviously keep you posted. But yeah, look forward to this one. This will be probably, the next year or so or a couple of years coming out on Amazon. And when that happens, we will definitely let you know. Now, another TV show based off of an existing, idea, True Lies, this Arnold Schwarzenegger, James Cameron, a Jamie Lee Curtis movie, this kind of action-packed, Arnold Schwarzenegger, he plays like a CIA agent, or he plays a spy, and his wife doesn't know that he's a spy, and then she kind of gets hooked into it. I remember watching it in cinema, man, this huge, big budget movie, and they are talking about making that into a TV series.
That's going to be interesting, yeah. I heard about that as well, and I was thinking, okay, that could work. All that spy, CIA shit, missions, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's been done before, just in a different sort of guise, but... yeah, interesting. But who's going to play who, and what's going to happen there?
I mean, the casting news is pretty scarce at the moment. But I didn't know this. It was that was actually a remake or an adaptation of a French TV show called La Totale. So
La Totale.
La Totale. Oui, monsieur. So so it's going to be interesting to see kind of what they do with this because
man, James Cameron needs to focus on making his Avatar. Yeah, he's got 10 films to make. Let him focus on that. Gordon Bennett.
So yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. But I just kind of found it interesting, the fact that they're taking a 1994 movie, which it was big for its time, but we haven't heard anything from it. But yeah, man, it could do really well on TV. Who knows? We'll see what happens. All right, okay. Now let's speak about this next movie. John Woo, John Travolta, and Nicolas Cage. Which movie, folks? Which movie I'm talking about? I'm talking about Face Off. That movie gets a lot of kind of criticism, but you know what? I like the movie. I like the premise of the movie. I like there's some corny bits in there, some cheesy bits in there. Obviously, people are going to remember the pigeons, the white doves flying around.
Yes,
man.
yes,
It's a John Woo's signature move. But you know what? I thought it was actually pretty good. So what they're talking about is actually there being a face-off, getting a direct sequel. I don't know how that's going to happen, how they're doing it, whether or not the John Travolta and Nicolas Cage are coming back, but. Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah, no, I'll watch that. I'll watch that. It. Sure. Yeah, I'll watch
I just thought it was just really interesting, the fact that they're bringing this back. And remember, this movie was from 1997.
Yeah.
A while ago, man.
14 years ago. Oof.
Exactly. So, and John Travolta, he's 66, and Nicolas Cage is 57. And the talk is that they will reprise their roles as FBI agent Sean Archer and terrorist Castor Troy. So, Castor Troy, what a name!
24 years ago, actually. Shit, got my maths wrong there.
Damn. So look forward to that one, and obviously any more news we'll let you know. And finally, let's speak about this Thor: Love and Thunder. Obviously, we know this is being worked upon at the moment down under. I think Chris Hemsworth, he walked into a chicken shop, as you do when you're Chris Hemsworth, in downtown Sydney or downtown Melbourne. I can't remember exactly what it was, and people lost their shit. he ordered a chicken roll and people were taking pictures. So, he's kind of, he's there, they're filming somewhere around over here. But the news that I want to mention is that Valkyrie landed down under. She's just done her 2 weeks of quarantine. And apparently she's going to be
Thompson, you mean?
Tessa Thompson, sorry, yeah. So she's going to be doing some scenes. She's going to be working, down under as well. So yeah, it'd be interesting. So we now know that obviously Christian Bale, Matt Damon, we've got Chris Pratt, we've got Gamora. Is it? No, Gamora's not in it. Is she in there as well?
No, I don't think so. No.
Dave Bautista, I think he finished his scenes just recently. So like huge cast. They're working, chipping away at this movie. So yeah, man, looking forward to seeing, what they make of it.
I cannot wait. Bring it on, man.
All right. Okay. So now let's speak about Boxset. Watch this, Devaldo. Now, I mentioned this before. We've mentioned this every week, and we have to have a little bit of a recap of WandaVision. If you are not watching it, seriously, just stop. Just stop, because we're going to obviously speak about stuff that goes on in episode 6. But listen, you should be watching it. And Deval, I mean, oh my gosh, we're just getting deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. Vision, he's getting, there's obviously more confusion. He wants to figure out what's going on. Pietro, which was Quicksilver, we're seeing more of him. And the rumors, the theories are that Pietro, so Quicksilver, could actually be Nightmare.
Oh.
This is the stuff that
I'm not
reading.
surprised. Yeah, because that will link to Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange is going to come in towards the end or something, and it will be the link to his film. He's going to come in and have to deal with a big bad, which they won't deal with in WandaVision, but then that will link them to go onto his film, where they're going to team up, Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange, and deal with this one Nightmare or Mephisto, whoever it is. But yeah, I think you're spot on with that one. I think you're spot on. This episode here, episode 6, again, there was a lot of conversations about Quicksilver and WandaVision, Wanda, talking about where he came from, why he looks like, and he was very open about it. But you can tell there's something insidious,
iffy, if there's something. And it's so true. It's so true, right? Because she's kind of like a bit unsure, and she's kind of testing him a bit as well. But listen, there was one line, there's one throwaway line. The person in charge of Sword, I can't remember what his character name is, and the one line that he mentioned was, he goes, "We need to kind of like contain this nightmare." Do you remember that?
Oh my gosh, yes, I remember. Yes. Oh man.
And I think someone else in the show as well says the word nightmare. Now the writers, they could be putting that in there just to throw us off. Who knows? We don't know.
What? And Quicksilver also, when he was talking to Wanda, he said to her, "Oh, this isn't something that you can just, something about give someone, do something in their dreams or something like that." He said something about dreams, and Nightmare is the sort of the god of dreams almost. That's his dominion. Man, do you know what? This is going to happen. There's also something that happened when Darcy was talking to Monica Rambeau and Agent, what's his name? Agent Wu. And she said to them that, every time you go through the hex thingy, it changes your DNA. Yep. Man, I'm telling you, Monica Rambeau is going to get her photon powers.
It's going to happen.
This could be the opposite of no more mutants. It could be more mutants. Maybe that hex thing, because now enough people are in it, they could all be getting powers.
Oh, that's super interesting. Man. That is brilliant. Yeah. That's a great way to kind of like introduce that whole thing. And so listen, you obviously need to watch it. You need to kind of, savor kind of what's going on. And a lot of criticism that I read online about it was, it's too slow. The pacing of it is kind of, not up to kind of speed and stuff like that. But you know what? You have to give this time, because this is leading into something obviously a lot bigger. Like Deval just mentioned, the whole Doctor Strange Part 2, other characters, this character Nightmare or Mephisto, we don't know who it is, but it's looking like as if he is kind of controlling things. And theories online are saying that Quicksilver could actually be a manifestation of Nightmare, and he's been put in there because remember at the end of episode 5 she said, "I'm not doing this, I don't know how he got here."
Yeah. I can't wait for the next episodes. Guys, let us know what you think. Exactly. But keep watching this show. Do not take your eyes off it.
Exactly, and keep listening to the Flixters for more insight. All right, okay. New on streaming and trailers. So, Devaldo, check this one. Sounds brilliant. Old, it's just old. What's going on there?
Yeah. M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, he's back.
Yes, this is a film that he's involved in, and this is about people on an island where they are aging in a rapid way, a bit like
Cocoon.
Wonder's kids did in
No,
Wonder
Cocoon
Vision.
was the other way around.
Yeah. It was the other way around. But yeah, this is like you see a pregnant lady. No. So you see a lady who's obviously she's well, not obviously, but a lady who's pregnant, maybe I don't know, 2 months or something, and all of a sudden she's given birth. You see another person who was a kid. He goes into this cave. He comes out. He's a fully formed like 20-year-old or something. It's crazy, and we don't know what's going on here. But this is M. Night Shyamalan looking like he's doing something good. And soon enough, I'm going to go on Apple TV and watch Servant, which season 2 has started. So you're going to get some info on that one soon.
Exactly. And for fans of Latin American actors, Gael Garcia Bernal, I think he's going to be in
Gael Garcia Bernal from Amores Perros.
Amores Perros. Y tu mamá también.
Tu mamá también.
Sí, señor.
Man, that will start a fight in my hood. Trust me, where I live. If you said to someone,
"Mama también?" Your mum
man,
too.
that will start a fight.
Let me get you, bro. Yeah, man. All right, so go check that one out, and we'll see. Hopefully, this is something good because you know me, devout man. You know, I didn't have a great time watching Split. No,
did you like Split? The nice little fight at the end. You love that. I know
man,
you did.
Please. All right, okay, now let's speak about this. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They released another Now, this is the full trailer, or is this another teaser trailer?
This is a bit of a fuller trailer, a bit more information, a bit more scenes, and a bit more to see. But I mean, they're still quite, sort of hesitant to show us too much. But it shows a bit more of their I don't know what to call it, camaraderie, a bit of their friction, a bit like, Lethal Weapon kind of thing, buddy cop kind of situation.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be fun, but I think it's going to be more serious than they're letting off. There's a threat going on there. What's his name? Baron Zemo with the purple mask. He's involved still, and it's looking like this is going to be good. This is going to come out in sort of, I don't know, second or third week in March. So looking out for this one.
Exactly. And just to remind me again, this was supposed to be the first Disney Plus show, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to, but shit happened.
And then
now it's going to be late. So yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's speak about this next one. This is the franchise that keeps on giving.
Oh, mate.
Man, this is not. And I think there's going to be a 10th movie. I'm pretty sure they are going to make a 10th movie. Just somehow they're going to do it. They've got to round it off, right? But this is Fast 9. And remember, this movie was supposed to come out last year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. So it's ready made. It's on the shelf. All they need to do is dust it off and release it. I mean, this film. If you're a physics teacher, don't watch it because the physics in this do not matter. Yeah, the cars are doing all kinds of shit. Yeah, it's worse than Avengers actually. Avengers and Marvel, at least apart from Captain Shield, the physics is kind of
it's just mad, isn't it?
Kind of there, but yeah, this is mad. So this film's fun. Just leave your worries at the door, watch the film, and then just laugh and have fun.
Right. Really. Here's the thing though, Devaldo. All right, I just had a look at this. It's 3 hours and 8 minutes.
Are you serious?
Mate, if you go online, just type in Fast 9 and it comes up, Fast and Furious 9, 2021, action adventure, 3 hours and 8 minutes. Oh. I mean, for 3 hours and 8 minutes, you've got Vin Diesel, John Cena, Michelle Rodriguez, Tyrese, Jordana, Charlize Theron, obviously The Rock, Ludacris, Helen Mirren. What? Paul Walker is probably good. He's back in this. So what? They're doing like a flashback or something? Oh my gosh!
Probably a flashback, yeah. And we got Natalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
We got Ludacris. I mean, yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, man.
Exactly. And okay, finally, now I kind of spoke a bit about this maybe a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, this is Clarice. This is the kind of the continuation of Clarice Starling, that character from Silence of the Lambs. And Silence of the Lambs was this obviously novel written by Richard Harris, I want to say, turned into a movie by Jonathan Demme, Oscar winning, and great movie. So if you love your kind of crime stories, that movie is kind of obviously the pinnacle. But yeah, man, we're going to find out about what happened to Clarice after Silence of the Lambs.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it should be good. I'll watch this one,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
hope it's a bit hardcore. I hope it's a bit hardcore. But yeah, I love like serial killer shit, so I'll watch this.
Yeah, man. Exactly. All right, brilliant. Folks, now let's do Anniversary Corner. So we've got kind of a theme running throughout these movies, as we always do on the show. If you're, a regular listener, you'll know that. Have a guess and see if you can work that out. But listen, the first movie is One Day from 10 years ago, which is many days ago. So this is from 2011. So Deval, One Day. Remind me what this one is?
Yeah, this one is One Day is about it's a romantic sort of drama. After spending the night together on like a college graduation thingy, they kind of promise each other. I mean, they're like college. I don't know. They have a thing at college, but they don't really see it through. And they promise each other that on the same day every year they will meet up same place just to check in on each other, just to see how things are. I think throughout the years they may have relationships and things like that, but they still have this connection. So one day every year they get together, and legend has it that they still get together now. So there's a place, it's actually in London, and if you go there at a certain time, just may see them.
Wow, man. That's my hairs on my toes are kind of like, prickling up, like,
It's romantic, isn't it? It's romantic.
It is definitely, definitely romantic.
I think to myself now, like with my partner, every year, one day she goes off and says, "Oh, I'm just going here." I'm thinking, where are you going,
Where
really?
are you going? Exactly.
Send the drones to follow.
Imagine, this being set in the future, man. It'd be drones, it'd be like tracking, like there'd be a chip inside the finger or something like that. It's like
Exactly.
no, but so that's One Day from 10 years ago to 2011. Yeah, go check it out. And I remember it was
Anna Hathaway's in it. Sorry,
Anne
Anna Hathaway,
Hathaway.
Jim Sturgis is in it.
That's
so, yeah,
it.
good one.
I think she does a decent, we were speaking about accents before. I think she does a decent British accent in this one, actually.
Yeah. She's good.
All right. Okay. So 15 years ago, 2006, The Breakup. Oh my gosh, I remember this movie. Now, this came after the whole Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing with Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt. And there was some sort of thing behind the scenes where, I don't know, there was kind of like a rumor that Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston, they actually hooked up on the making of this movie. And there was this whole little thing. And it's interesting. It's an interesting movie. It's that kind of, one of those movies where you kind of get to the nuts and bolts of, how these two people got together, but then you also get to the point of why they separated and, the fights, the kind of the arguments and the petty things that go on and off, and the things that men do, the things that women do, and this whole kind of like saga. And we'll speak about that because it links in with our main movie. But yeah, I mean, I don't remember if this did really well. Deval, do you know if it did well, if it was a big hit?
Okay, it was a decent film, good comedy, sort of a drama, but at the same time, it's quite heartbreaking because it's about a breakup, and you think they're going to get together, but it's a real breakup. I remember watching this years ago, and I didn't know it would end the way it did, but it was quite a deep film actually. They broke up, but they're still living together, and then they're dating other people, and they're trying to score, like have scores on each other and hurt each other, but they still love each other, but they can't get back together again. Jennifer Aniston's great in this. Vince Vaughn's great in it. Jon Favreau shows up in this one as well.
And there's
Jason
another
Bateman.
connection. There's another connection to Marvel, Deval. Tell me what it is.
Peyton Reed is the director of this one. He directed Ant-Man 1, Ant-Man 2, and what else is Peyton? Peyton's done some Star Wars, I think. Am I getting it wrong? Maybe I'm getting it wrong. But Peyton Reed is involved in this. Mandalorian, sorry. He's been involved in Mandalorian. There's a massive... So Jon Favreau, Peyton Reed go way back, and he's obviously hooked him up again with this one. So decent film. Give it a watch.
Apparently Vince Vaughn, he had a hand in the screenplay as well. So so that's interesting. Okay, next movie, Save the Last Dance. Oh my gosh, I remember the soundtrack to this, man. I used to play it. What was that tune? The main tune.
I don't remember.
Oh man, Save the Last Dance. Julia Stiles and
Sean Patrick Thomas.
That's it. So kind of like
Kerry Washington's in this as well.
Okay. I'm just trying to. Sorry, go on. You do the thing while I try and find the song.
Do that thing, man. Save the Last Dance. I mean, come on, that's the last dance in, like, the prom and all that kind of stuff. That's where you sort of stand, get close, and they do this, like, I don't know, it's not really a dance. They just walk around in a circle, don't they? But that's like the romantic dance of the prom. The person that you're gonna, maybe go home with, or go to the hotel, the motel, the Holiday Inn with. But yeah, this is 2001, literally 20 years ago, and it's a black teen and a white girl who get together in in a South Side sort of rough area where that shouldn't really, it doesn't really happen, I should say, not shouldn't, but doesn't really happen. So there's a bit of social friction there already, but they use dance and
They
and
connect.
expression to connect exactly on a deeper level. So yeah, it's a decent film. I think I saw it ages ago, but yeah, decent film.
Yeah.
Also, Julia Stiles went on from there to do Born and other stuff as well. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the song was "You Know What's Up." That was the song. I remember that was the song. I remember. But I flipping went out and bloody bought the CD for this one, and it had some brilliant
Ah,
tunes on there. "You Know What's Up," Donald Jones.
oh, Donnell, yeah, of course.
Yeah, "Get It On Tonight," man. That what a tune that was.
Mm.
Montel Jordan. So yeah, man. So listen, if you don't like the film, you're definitely going to like the soundtrack because it was brilliant back in the day. 20 years ago, wow. All right, okay. So 25 years ago, oh my gosh, William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. And listen, this is the Valentine's edition of the Flixters, folks. So how can you not have a reference to Romeo and Juliet? And man, listen, this story of Romeo and Juliet is obviously everlasting. It's kind of like eternal, and schools up and down the country, around the world, they kind of like still kind of read this, obviously. And I remember when this obviously film adaptation came out, Baz Luhrmann, Australian director, cast Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio, and it was like, oh, this is going to be interesting. And what they did was they kept the dialogue exactly the same, but they it was like they said it in modern times, like with guns and
Oh,
fast cars.
yeah, it's really, it's actually quite it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's quite creative actually,
Yeah, yeah,
because
definitely.
it might have not, maybe it didn't, it could not have worked. Possibly it wouldn't have worked, but it did. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on, who doesn't know the story of Romeo and Juliet? If you don't know the story of Romeo and Juliet, listen, seriously, just go online and just read up on it, and you can kind of like fill yourself in. All right, okay, last one from 30 years ago, Jungle Fever. And again, this kind of similar to Save the Last Dance. Wesley Snipes, I remember this, and the tune, man.
You've got jungle fever. I've got jungle fever. We've
Stevie
got
Wonder,
jungle
man.
fever.
I remember watching this movie, man, seriously. And it was obviously, whenever you kind of have this, especially back then in 1991, this like, it was like, African American, and I think she was Italian American, I think, and they kind of like, hooking up
Yeah,
together. And it's kind of like back then it was like, oh, taboo, like controversial. Like, how can
yeah.
you have kind of like the two different, like, races, like, black and white, and like mixing together? And, it's an interesting storyline, and, it got a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah, Spike Lee joint as well. He does like kind of like that sort of New Yorky kind of, city setting with, like, you have black, you have other races, and usually he likes putting the Italians in there as well because they're very passionate and they come across really well. And there's been that friction from time, I guess, and he liked to portray it on screen. So he has his usual. Samuel L. Jackson's in this, as well as Turturro. John
Yeah, John
Turturro's
Turturro.
in this as well. Haley Berry, the ever
Wow.
fine Haley Berry, or Halle Berry. I always say it wrong, but she doesn't mind. But yeah, this Jungle Fever, man. This is a classic film.
It
Even
is.
the poster is like a black hand and a white hand together.
Yeah.
I mean, people been getting jungle fever from day one. People still got
You know what? There needs
Once
to
you
be
get it, you
more
can't get rid
jungle
of it.
fever,
They
man.
tried to, like, the vaccine. They tried to send it out. The vaccine didn't work. Jungle fever still hitting people. you know. And then when it really develops, there's the next fever
Holy
you get, man.
shit.
The next level fever. Ooh.
Oh my gosh, man. This is a classic. But yeah,
When you get
seriously,
tribal
man.
fever, that's it, man. When you get tribal fever, it's over. That's it, man.
That's the end. That's the
That's
end
when
game, man.
Babangida. That's when you get white people called Babangida. When you when you see, when you see
The tribal
when you
fever.
say white person called Babangida, that's it, man. You got the tribal fever. You start doing the tribal skank, Babangida.
You know what I love? That is a running gag that we've had for the last 3 years. That's been running throughout this show, right? Is Baba and Gita. Seriously, make that
Trust
movie.
me.
Trust me. But listen, look, Jungle Fever, right? Listen, I mean, why was it so controversial, Deval? Why is it in some
Race, innit?
corners? Yeah, race. You know, why is it still in some corners of the world? It's still controversial.
To do with people's beliefs and mixing and cultural stuff and differences. People want to keep their family lines, like what it is, so they don't really want to. It's also about understanding. People don't, humans tend to fear what they don't understand. So,
Mm,
they don't understand the races, the foods that they have, the cultures, religions, and they don't
yeah,
want any part of it, So some of it, comes from human nature. But with education, hopefully those barriers are broken down. But still, some people have their preferences. They're not,
yeah.
people
Of course,
that
yeah,
like to have a certain, like to date a certain race or whatever it might be. It's just a preference. That's what they're attracted to. So it's not
yeah.
always a
Well
bad thing,
said.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
well said, well said. Here, here. All right, okay. So check those movies out. I'm pretty sure you've seen some of those movies, and if you have, yeah, have you seen them recently? I don't know, but let us know if you have, and
Yeah.
do they still, hold up after all these years? All right, okay. We've kind of alluded to obviously our film review. We're going to be speaking about Malcolm and Marie, which is this newly released Netflix exclusive, directed by Sam Levinson. I haven't seen any of his other work, Deval, by the way, starring Zendaya and starring David Washington. Now, you're probably thinking, well, is there anyone else in the movie? No, there is not anyone else in the movie. This movie hinges on those two people. And I kind of, after I watched the movie, I said, like, you know what, yeah, let me just kind of get a gist of what other people thought about the movie. And you know what, Deval, there's quite a lot of, there's a lot of people saying that they didn't like the movie, it was too long, and it doesn't hold up well. Maybe for the first half an hour, there's a really great story in there. And for a lot of those criticisms, you know what, I didn't agree. And I don't know exactly how you think about it, but for me, I thought, number one, I mean, straight off the bat, I'm going to say those two actors, they are absolutely brilliant. I mean, the monologues, the kind of the fiery, the biting, the sarcasm, the kind of the back and forth between Zendaya and Washington, I thought was brilliant. I mean, those two were on fire. And then whilst I was watching the movie, I kind of thought back to the whole thing about the controversy about them two, about the 12-year age difference. Was that ever an issue when you watched the movie?
No, for me it wasn't. I mean, she herself has said that people feel that way because they're not ready to see her as an adult because she was like a Disney star and stuff. I never saw her as a
Right.
Disney star.
Okay.
I've only ever seen her in Spider-Man, but she's like a teen,
Like
like
a
a
teen.
a high, like an old teen. And I saw her in this as she is meant to be seen as an adult. And that's it. End of. I mean, the 12-year gap. I've had that in my life. I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I've had it up. I've had it down. Honestly, it's like it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly, man. You get it when you can get it, basically.
You get it when you can get it, man.
Exactly, just go with the flow. But basically, as a premise of the movie, it's like literally these two characters. Washington, he's a film director, and Zendaya is his girlfriend, his partner. And they've come back from the premiere of his movie, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like he's super excited. He's dancing to James Brown, he's singing to James Brown, and she comes home. She obviously takes her shoes off and stuff, and then she starts making mac and cheese, man. So she starts making the mac and cheese, and then from there on, you start to kind of realize that there's tension between the two, and he's kind of like wants to just celebrate, but she's got something on her mind, and the thing is, right, he's coaxing out of her like what the issue is, and it starts off with this thing, whereas he doesn't, or he didn't thank her in his acceptance speech, or in his speech when he was going through his premiere, and that's where the whole kind of story unfolds. So for a lot of people,
You know what? That alone, yeah, just sorry to interrupt. That alone,
Yeah,
for
go on.
many men, is gonna strike like, you know, a chord, or it's
Yes.
gonna a memory of a time when you just didn't,
Tell
or if
me
you did say one thing and that's it, it's like
that.
kaboom.
Boom. You know what, Shad, I'm not even joking now. I don't know if it's just me, like, you know, and the relationships that I've had. But listen, seriously, man, when I was watching this movie, I was like, oh my gosh, I can see this. I can see this, right? The
Yeah.
amount of times, like, you know, the whole thing about, no, I don't really want to speak about it. But if I do speak about it, then this isn't going to turn out something really well. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, well, I can see it. I can see it happening. I can see this. I can see this. And that's why I was so engrossed in this movie, because this movie is probably like your anti Valentine's Day movie. I mean, there's deep, don't get me wrong, there is deep love between these two characters, but they're also flawed characters, and they go through everything, man. I mean, they are swearing at each other. They are, you know, they do love each other. They go deep. They say shit which they regret, and that is life. That is relationships. If you've been in any kind of like, you know, deep relationship with anyone, you get that, man. You have the bitterness with the kind of the sweetness as well, and you know, you have the ups and downs. And this is a movie full of that for 80 minutes. For some people, that was too much. You know what? It was like, listen, they couldn't deal with it for more than 30 minutes. And me being me, like where I like to get involved and I like to get sucked into kind of, you know, the story, I didn't find that an issue. I mean, what about you, Deval?
No, I can get I get where people are coming from. I think a movie with just two people, I mean, you can do it in 90 minutes or slightly just under. This was an hour and 40, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Oh, so shit. Sorry, even longer.
yeah, so it can, I think, yeah, they could have shredded at least 10 minutes off it, perhaps. But yeah, same. I was entertained by the whole thing. I wasn't, you know, itching to get away. So I did find it was quite. I mean, when was the last time you saw a film that only had two people? I mean, the last time I saw a film that had minimal people like this was probably 10 Cloverfield Lane. I think
Yes.
that had one, two, three, four. I think we saw four or five people on screen, but we heard, you know, some radio messages and stuff like that. But very, very small cast. This two people. This was filmed over I think it was about 9 or 11 days, something like that. I think about 11 days. I think if my maths is right. And No, this was filmed over 14 days, like 2 weeks basically,
Wow.
during the pandemic, between June and July of 2000. It was
Crazy.
filmed. So, and I guess with the pandemic happening, less people on set, then the better. So it was, you know, I think that was a good thing. But in black and white as well,
Black
that
and
gave
white.
it a certain mise en scène. You know, gave it maybe made it feel a bit more intimate because you weren't distracted by colors and stuff like that. So your emotions were already fine tuned to be at a certain, you know, frequency that you can really connect with all the issues that they were talking about, issues that everyone has been through. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, we've all been through something that they're speaking about, right or wrong. We've all been through it, and this really takes you on that journey. So yeah, you're right. Is it a love story? Yes. Is it a story of hate? Yes. Is it a story of couples that are flawed? Yes. Is it a story of couples that, you know, that want to be together, that but might end up breaking up? Is it a story of a couple that, you know, just want to be loved? And that's, I think we can all relate to that. So yeah, it's decent, and it's on Netflix. So I think, yeah, I think you all should give it a go, whether you believe in love or not.
Definitely agree with you 100% there. Go out and check it out, and let us know what you think, because obviously it has divided a lot of people. And, you know, like I said before, some people have said it's kind of like too long. But yeah, man, I didn't have an issue with it. And just like you said, when I was watching those two characters, I could see, like, you know, I could even hear, man, like, you know, some of the shit, like, you know, that, or some of the emotions that they felt. I've felt those things as well over the years. So like, yeah, man, it's really interesting. Go check it out. And yeah, I mean, I'd give it a, I mean, what are the Flixters? I mean, I'd give it like a good, decent 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I
Like, if
think
I'm being honest.
similar. Yeah, about seven. I think seven, 7.5.
Yeah,
I was thinking about an 8, but I don't know if it took me there. But yeah, I think 7.5 is still good. Yeah, I'm the
exactly.
same.
It's still really, really good. Listen, Deval, we've still got a couple more minutes, and I think we definitely should speak about this hidden gem that
Yeah, of
that we've
course.
been sitting
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Now, this is a movie that we've actually been waiting. Deval and I have been waiting for
Oh,
for ages, ever since we saw the trailer back in 2019. Like, you know what? We were like, this is on our radar. We definitely got to watch this movie. So finally, we were able to watch it. It's called Saint Maud. It's a British movie. It's a psychological horror. Yeah, it was made in 2019, and obviously because of the whole pandemic and stuff, it's only now is it started to kind of like, you know, get a wider release and everything. Talking about claustrophobia and kind of like, you know, not that many actors. Again, this movie doesn't have that many main characters.
Doesn't have that many, no. It's just a small handful really that we really interact with, and even the main sort of, you know, protagonist, antagonist, if you want to call it that, is I think two or three people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you say, very atmospheric. This is the hidden gem of a difference, and I think one of the reasons we put it on here is because yes, it's been a while since we've been trying to watch it, but funnily enough, actually, all our movie character names are M. We've got Marie, Malcolm, we've got Maud.
Ah.
You know, when did we get that? But there have been scientific studies that have shown that you know, when you're at the pinnacle of, like, you know, love and the thrusts of love and all that kind of stuff, you know, uh, there are similar, you know, senses and similar what's the word? Similar scientific outputs, heartbeats, you know, sweat palpitations, and the spikes in your brain are very similar from when you like almost climax to when you're
Mm.
scared in a
Yeah.
horror situation. You know, you feel alive at both times almost equally. Dent Maud hopefully delivers at, you know, in stages, but it's very patient with it. You gotta, you know, take your time to get there, which again in love sometimes that's the case. You gotta take your
You
time.
definitely got to take your time.
But yeah, so Saint Maud. I mean, I know you were sort of talking about the sort of the cast and the atmosphere. You know what? It's really unsettling.
It
It kind of
is.
reminded me a little bit of like how Hereditary, in a different way. This is much more quiet, somber, the very like almost like nothing is going on kind of way. There are
Yeah.
little subtle things in this. This is about possession. Let's not beat around the bush. Sent Maud, a care worker who has had some sort of history with caring for people, somehow is still allowed to care for people, and she means well, but there's something going on there. Do we know her full history?
You know what? That's the thing. It's all you know. It's all ambiguous. The filmmakers have kind of left that all open for interpretation. But something has gone on in her life beforehand. Some sort of tragedy, some sort of kind of incidents happened, which is then she's become a recent convert to, you know, Roman
Mm,
Catholicism. So she's a, you know, Christian basically, and she kind of, you know, is really kind of deeply religious, and she gets this new job where she's looking after a cancer patient, and to her kind of like, you know, role is that, you know what, it's my job to kind of save her soul. So her thing is, right,
yeah,
you know, I want to save this person's soul. And then from that point onwards, when she kind of enters the house, the man, like you said before, it's unsettling. The slow movements, the camera movements, they kind of pull you into the story. And then what you kind of see is slowly the unraveling of this person's character and her, like, you know, her basically her psychosis, you know, want for a better word. And you know, I exactly like you, Deval, I kind of had this unsettling feeling. It is a slow burning movie, but there are enough things in there to keep you kind of gripped, to kind of get you to think, shit, you know what? Actually, something's not right about this person. I want to find out exactly what is going on. And
yeah,
obviously, we're not going to spoil the ending for you. It's one of those movies that you definitely have to kind of watch because it
yeah.
is a hidden gem. But yeah, man, I was really surprised about the whole thing and the ending, and you know, about I was unsettled because there are people like this in the world, unfortunately,
Oh
where
my
they
gosh,
go
you
through
just
some
said
sort
it.
of
Spot
descent.
on, man. Spot on. There are people like this, and whether it's a, you know, a health psychological thing, or if it is spiritual, you cannot differentiate sometimes. I
Yeah.
mean, who did she come? Did she start in this film possessed, or does she
Ah.
end possessed? Who's possessed? Is it her? Is it someone else in her? Like, who is it? Who is it? We don't know. We're not experts. We don't know, but we see something is wrong. I don't know if you noticed this as well. Something throughout the film, both her eyes are blue,
Ah.
but towards the latter end of the film, one eye is blue, one eye is brown.
Shit, didn't notice it.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I was like, "Shit, when did this happen?" I had to rewind it to see at what point this happened. And there's something that happens that triggers a deeper, a deeper like shit show where her eyes start to change, and yeah, it's crazy, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
this show, I'm
It-
even feel kind of scared talking
no,
about it
no,
because I'm home alone right now.
no. I know
And
exactly what you mean. And you know what the thing is, right? You know, like, you know, we've spoken on the show about kind of like serial killers and stuff like that, right? Where they see things or they hear voices, and there's cases of this that have happened, like, you know, around the world where people, they say that they see things and or they hear things, and they kind of like, you know, it makes them do things. And if you kind of understand that, you'll figure out exactly where we're going with this movie, and without us obviously saying
Yeah.
and revealing too much about it. But yeah, man, it's an unsettling movie. It's you know, when you even just look at her, like, you know, I think her name is Morfydd Clark, the actress who plays Maud.
Yeah.
I mean, even looking at her, the way that she carries the movie on her shoulders, and like, you know, the pain, the suffering, and you know, all of that sort of stuff. And when I mean suffering, you'll notice, well, you'll see in the movie why I mean say suffering, because there's things in there that she does so that she can be reminded of the suffering that Christ went through. And like, you know, she,
Yes.
like I said before, she's deeply kind of like religious person. So yeah, she's not all there. She's unhinged. There's something going on behind the eyes, exactly like what Deval's just said there. You know, yeah, man, it kind of leaves you with this feeling at the end of the movie, like, damn, it's like, you know, we have to take care of our brains, and, you know, we need to kind of speak to people as well. Mental, you know, it's this whole thing about mental health as well, Deval.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah, go
But
check it out.
guys. Give it a watch. We saw it on Rakuten. It's there on Rakuten. So yeah, I mean, this is a really good one. So give it a watch, guys.
Brilliant. All right. Okay. Unfortunately, folks, we're going to have to leave you now so you can get back to doing whatever it was that you were doing. Yeah, Deval, I mean, that's it. Out of time.
Yeah.
Great talking to you.
That's it. You too. Great show. So you can get back to your loving now.
Muck loving.
Oh my gosh. All right then, guys. Peace out next time. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.